very much indeed. Welcome back. Next this morning is Sharon, who's here to try and persuade her pregnant daughter to stay away from the baby's father. Now, Sharon claims that he's no good for her daughter and that she is ultimately better off on her own. Let's get the mum out to explain. Sharon's on the show, guys. Hi, sweetheart. Right. We all, I guess, as parents, want what's best for our kids, but why are you telling your 18-year-old daughter, who's... How long is it till she gives birth?
13 weeks.
Why are you telling her that she's better off without this boy?
To me, he's no good for her at all.
Let's talk about how they got together, the relationship. They're not together at the moment, that's relevant, but she is due to give birth in 13 weeks. Let's talk about when Sam and Dan met. What did you discover?
I knew she was going out with a lad. Only, I think it was about 8 weeks into the relationship, because she was quiet. So, you know. And then I found out she was going with this lad. I found out what area he lived in. I wasn't keen on that. So, but I let it go ahead.
You let it go ahead? What do you mean by that?
I didn't involve myself in it.
OK.
I didn't say...
Step back?
Yeah.
OK.
I asked to meet the lad, which is Danny.
What did you find when you met him? What did you think of him?
It's a good job he's 16 because I'd have killed him. Because he come to my house and they were having sex. So I pulled him. And I said, well, you're not having that in my house.
Fair enough.
So, you know, where are you having it? And he turned around and said, I have it everywhere. So...
It's not the best way to ingratiate yourself to the future mother-in-law, is it, really?
Not really, no.
However, I have to state the obvious, and I'm sure that a lot of parents watching this would absolutely adhere to what you're saying. It's 50-50. It's part of it's what your daughter was doing as well. Why didn't you pull her on it?
Oh, I did.
So from the minute he walked in and said, I'm having sex with her everywhere, your relationship with him pretty well started off on the wrong foot. What about your relationship with your daughter? Because had you been close before?
We'd been very close. She was like my shadow. Everywhere I went, she was, you know, next to me.
So would there be a part of you that would understand this next question? Is your hatred for this boy based entirely upon the fact that he, for a while, became more important to your daughter than you and she were?
No.
As a relationship?
Not whatsoever.
You jealous of it?
No, not whatsoever. I want to protect her.
Do you worry that they're going to get back together?
I worry there's going to be a second baby as soon as this one's born. I really do. I can hear it in background.
Well, let's get her out to answer that. You think she's going to have another one? Let's get Sam on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Sam, welcome to the show. There's a lot to this story, and I want to keep it as simple as possible. Before you met Dan, what was your relationship like with your mum, Sharon?
It was all right. I've never had problems.
But let's bring something in that you haven't touched upon, madam, because since you got pregnant, since you split with Danny, since you got this house, what's happened to your relationship with your mum? Truthfully.
Just arguing all the time, every day, and then she'll ring up the next day, being fine with me, and then ring up and then start kicking off.
What you told my researchers was that you think your mother is controlling you.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, she's ringing me up when I'm out at Danny's, sat in Danny's, talking to his mum, telling me that I've got to come in at a certain time.
She's correct. It's not... No, it's not. She's got to come in. She's travelling home on a bus in not a good estate at 10:30 in the night on her own, and she's 7 months pregnant.
It's not even that far from where I live.
Sam, you and your mum have had physical altercations, haven't you? What does she do to you?
She slapped me in the middle of the town centre.
I did?
While she was pregnant?
Yeah.
I did.
But you don't want her to travel on a bus on her own while she's pregnant?
No, she was a
I want to hear from her, if that's OK.
Yeah.
Why would your mother hit you?
Because we went to look for a house and sort out a house, and because I couldn't get one straight away, she was kicking off saying, it's your fault, you should have got an abortion, and that I should get kicked. She kicked me out. So I slapped at her friends, but she slapped me because I walked out the cafe, because I wasn't sitting there while she
So did your mother get you a house and help you move on, or did she kick you out of her house? No,
she kicked me out at first, and then I went to friends, and then I had no other option, so she sorted me a house out. But it's like...
I think she's jealous of the fact that you're 18 and pregnant, or you were with Danny, because you were once as thick as thieves?
I don't know what it is with her.
Why don't you ask her?
I've asked her, I've tried that many times to talk to her and see what the problem is, but there's not a problem.
You told my researchers that you reckon your mother is jealous of the relationship that you've got with Danny. Is that true?
Me?
Are you jealous?
No,
Are you jealous of the
definitely not.
relationship she has with Danny's mum, Jo?
No, but the only thing I don't like is when Joanne doesn't make an effort to go up to see Sam. Sam always travels down.
But you keep... It's difficult for me because I really do like the fact, because I get parents sometimes on this stage who don't seem to give a damn, but you can't. You can't control every aspect of a life. You can't... I mean, one of the reasons that this happened, this fallout, was that you two had a massive Barney. You had a fallout and she went and organised for Danny and her mum to be at the birth because you and she had fallen out. Is that right or wrong?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
And then you got that hump because she'd asked 2 other people to be there and not you. It's like you're now trying to say Jo must come and see her and she... Why are you so controlling of everything that she does? It's a serious question.
Because I know how vulnerable Sam is. Sam wasn't an outgoing person. Sam was very shy.
But you see, I'd read into that you don't think your daughter's up to the job of having a kid.
She doesn't. She called me an unfit mother before I even had the baby. And now she was going to ring social services when the baby's born.
Is that true?
I did. But there is a story behind that.
There always is with you, love, but can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Do you not think that every time you say, I'm not going to be at your birth, get out of my house, I'm going to phone social services, you're going to be a useless mother, have an abortion, do you not think that sinks into her psyche and she keeps that? Do you know what she told my team this morning? And I don't think do you know what I think? I don't think this goes in. Let this go into your head, because this is important. Do you know what she said?
Go on.
My mother thinks that Danny stresses me out. It ain't Danny, it's me mother.
Is that right? Yeah. Is that right, Sam?
It is.
How many times have I picked you up from Danny's because you're balking your eyes out because he's sitting with a girl in front of you that's your friend calling you? The girl was calling you. Who picked you up?
Aren't you supposed to turn to your mum when it all goes wrong?
Yeah.
But does that give you the right? And I'm not doubting that your motives are good, but it's quite intense, love. Why don't you prove to her that you can be an adult?
I've just not bothered ringing her. I've got problems now. I've just
It's not really like that.
it.
So you turned to Danny and his mum to be at the birth. How did that make you feel?
It was her option. She rang up and said, I don't want to be there at birth, I don't want anything to do with you or the baby.
This was at
so
the beginning.
I made other plans because I didn't want to leave it till last minute.
And those other plans included your ex, Danny, and his mum, Joanne, being at the birth. Mum, Joanne's on the show now, ladies and gentlemen. Joanne, welcome to the show. What's your take on this?
I just don't know where it's all come from. We was all right. Me and you got on great. We was going to go out for a drink.
Yeah.
Was Daniel done to you that caused all this?
It's Sam coming home. Danny's done this, Danny's done that. What do you expect me to think of him?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, they're both...
But you're not seeing Sam.
I see Sam crying.
Right.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you see
I've
Sam
seen
crying.
Yeah.
You haven't lived with Sam.
No.
You haven't seen...
I was going to live with Sam, if you remember, when she got through
Well,
help, but I
that was it.
decided Daniel's too young to live with Sam. They wasn't together. Fair enough. She had to go somewhere else.
Yeah, Sam is
And
a
as for me
different
travelling to
person
see
with you.
Sam, I've got kids.
Yeah.
And you know what I do when my kids got school. I care for my mum.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get on a bus and travel nowhere. What do we have to do that for? I've got 6 kids of my own.
Do you have a problem with her son?
Danny?
Yeah.
I've not got a problem with him in general, but it's Sam when she comes and tells me
Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Danny's done this, Danny's seen someone else.
I've not rang you for ages.
Let's talk about Danny. What's your son like?
He's getting to a nice lad now. He's had his problems.
Is he up to the mark of being a dad to this child?
He's trying his best.
What's he doing?
He started buying stuff for the baby and things like that. I've not tried to step on your toe, Sharon, with Sam.
But this is what I'm getting.
I've never stood on...
But Sharon, part of my criticism of you has to be, and I repeat it, however difficult it is, and however many times she phones you up and moans and bitches about him, saying things like, I don't want to be at the birth, I'm going to phone social services, you're going to be a useless mother and I should have had an abortion, you should have had an abortion, that's dangerous.
Hold on a minute. What did you say to me and I was going for brain scans? What did you say
No,
to me?
you rang up.
You hurry up and drop
you
dead
rang up
soon.
when I was sat in Joanne's.
Because I've been
Wasn't
going for
it,
brain
Joanne?
scans.
She was on the phone because I put you on loudspeaker in front
Have you ever
of
two
a lot
been
of
mother and
people.
daughter? Or are you like sisters who have fallen out about the fact that she's gone off with somebody else? Because to me, this smacks of the fact that you two were like that, then she gets a boyfriend, starts having sex, that's a separate issue whether he can be a dad or not, and you're not too happy about that.
No, that doesn't bother me.
I just think that you're jealous of the bond that she's got with Danny.
Well, we might as well all either get along or try and get along, or... The thing is, even if Sam listens...
Joanne, I haven't got a problem with you.
No, try to stop Daniel having access. I'll take him to a solicitor to get access to the baby. Because Sam said you don't want him anywhere near this baby.
No.
You did.
Right.
You said you either choose me, I help you, and I'll be there for you.
You don't.
Or
Your
tell.
sister's there.
Hold on a second, let's go to your... Who's your sister? What's she called?
Jenny.
Jenny's in the audience. Let's go to her a second. Jenny, your mic, so you don't need to jump up. What do you want to say?
Can I come sit down there?
You can you come and sit there? Can we grab a chair? Yeah, go and go sit next to your mum, that's fine. Jenny, ladies and gentlemen. What's your take on this story?
She didn't say that, and the reason why my mum said she's going to phone social services is because she battered me.
Do you believe that this girl is up to being a mother?
Yes, she can be, but...
Right. Do you believe, and I repeat, and I want it repeated, that I think your mother's motives are excellent, right? But it's a little bit over the top, isn't it?
Yeah, I've told her she needs to back off because...
Yes.
At the end of the day, Sam is throwing it back in her face non-stop.
I think you're as bad as each other. Do you want me to be perfectly honest? I think you're actually probably like twins, and I do think I'm right that you were far too close, and I think you took a dim view of the fact that she isn't as close as she was. Your problem, young lady, is you've gone off into the big wide world. I've got a relationship, I'm pregnant, I don't need you. And every time it goes wrong, you run back to your mother and you fuel the fire of why she is unhappy. Do you not agree with me about that?
I do.
Because every time you run to her going, he's
Joanne.
this, he's that, he said this, he said that, she goes, do you know what? He is. He's a pain, he's this, he's that. She's bound to think that because you're 18 and pregnant and she's scared. She isn't doing anything wrong, to be perfectly honest.
No,
she ain't too
she's
happy with the
looking at
fact, but as she said, I'm trying to do this so that everybody does the right by the kid. Are you and Danny going to get back together?
I don't know, no.
What do you make of Danny?
Me, he's okay to get along with, but he can be, like, in your face. But at the end of the day, he's on and off with her. And then she's
What
stupid.
do you mean in your face?
I mean, like, like at that time he said he was going to hit me.
He would have been joking with you, Jenny. You
No,
know what he's
he
like.
wasn't.
No, he's
You
never
don't
hit a
joke about hitting a woman, do you?
No, he's never hit a woman in his life.
He
Do
said
you
he
think
was
that they
gonna hit
should
me,
get-
should have stood there.
Do you think they should get back
What for?
together? Jen, do you think they should
Because
get back...
I was sticking up for her because he was saying your sister's fit.
Do you think they should get back
Like
together?
I said, joking.
Whose sister's fit?
He was saying to me
To
in
her,
front of
Jen,
her.
you can't slag Danny off for that because you wanted him.
I
You
didn't
liked
want
him
him.
when I
Have
was
I
with
ever
another lad
wanted
before
Danny?
I got with Danny. Yeah, you
I
did.
knew you before Sam because you come in my house with Dana.
See?
What?
Well,
She was...
well,
Before he met Sam.
Mother didn't know that. So before you started sleeping with Dan,
No, I've not
me and
slept
I'm not
Danny
saying
was-
you have, but you went to her house with him.
Yeah, but that was only once, and that was like before, when I first
Before
started
she found
hanging
out that
around
me
with
and
her,
Have you
I
got
didn't-
feelings for...
No,
You're not jealous about the fact that she's
no,
with Dan?
I'm happy, I'm fine.
she's with the fella.
Did you know that she and Dan had been to her house?
Yeah, I told you.
No, I didn't.
Tell you that many things, you forget. Yeah, I did tell her.
OK, take a breather. Now, after the break, we'll meet the man himself and we'll see what he has to say. I'm right back.
I don't need the pregnant daughter and kick her out there.
Don't say anything, just leave her.
Well, you don't, do you? Why did you
You
kick her out when
threatened
she
to
was pregnant,
hit her.
Annette?
That's why your brothers
Did you?
had
I've
to
never
come up
threatened-
to
Danny
pick her
has
up.
never
Has he threatened to
threatened
hit
I
you?
spoke to you on the phone.
Is
Threatened
the
to
mother-
hit her.
sit-